Good morning, guys. Well, today I'm going to change gears a little bit. Last week when I was on vacation, I noticed that the spray function for my wipers was not working very well, particularly on the right side. I wasn't getting any water, not enough to spray and clean the windshields, and so I had a look. As it turned out, the volume seemed to be adequate, and there didn't seem to be any problem with the spray function here, and so I thought for a moment about it as to what it might be. Of course, when you face a problem like this, you dissect it down to its basic principles, and the first principle is whether or not the pump was adequate, and I thought it probably was, just based on the volume of flow I was getting on the left side. And then I looked for an area of resistance, especially along this tubing here, and I didn't find that. In a way, it's almost like voltage drop that you might see in electronics. Now, carrying that parallel of electronics further, it could, as a third possibility, be a short. And in this case, a short of hydraulic flow would mean water spraying elsewhere. And so I popped the hood, and I had my daughter hit the spray function, and sure enough, I got spray all over the battery here. And I found a segment of tube, I'll see if I can focus in on this for you, that was broken down, and I was clearly getting loss of hydraulic flow through there. And so I thought, well, I'll just cut that out, and so I took an X-Acto knife, cut out the segment, and went to an auto parts store to see if I could find a replacement. But unfortunately, they didn't have the exact replacement. What they did give me is a larger tube that I could fit over the smaller one to get me by so I can get home safely. And that's what I've done. Today what I've done is I've disconnected it here. This is just a press fit. And I'd like to disconnect it down on this side to see if I can replace the whole segment. To do that, I'm going to replace the battery, and so remove the battery. So let's get the battery out and have a closer look. So this is a 13mm wrench on a wobble extension. Just one bolt we need to undo there. There's the hold down clamp. So now here's what we're dealing with. I think this segment may have been replaced at some time in the past. This doesn't look OEM to me. And so it looks like the replacement tubing has failed. And there's another connector down right here with the same kind of pattern. I'm sure it's just a press fit. So I'm going to take this length of hose out right now, and I'm going to go back to a different auto parts store and see if I can find an exact replacement for this tubing. Okay, so I wasn't able to find an exact replacement, but I was able to find some vacuum hose that I think will do the purpose. And I've slid it over the plastic tubing, and I've used some of this automotive goop. And we'll see how that goes. So I'll cut this back, I'll smear a little bit of that automotive glue in there, and then slide the two on together, and we'll give it a bit of time to dry, and then put it to the test and see if it works. Okay, let's give it a go. Yeah, we're getting lots of water now. It's back to the way it normally was. Let's have a look at the battery and see if it's leaked. So here we are on the battery after repeated use of it, and I'm not seeing any leakage here. Ideally, it would have been better to use that fuel line that I'd used because it was stiffer tubing and less likely to bulge out with the pressure. But this seems to be working just fine, and it's sealed a lot better than the fuel line is sealed. And so I think I'm going to call this a fix. So if this video helped you out and you want to see more of them, hit like or subscribe or leave a comment. I'd love to hear what it'll say. Thanks for watching.